Let's start with our first story. Today's story comes from our slash relationships, and it's a doozy. My 25M, BF 23M, wants me to stop watching certain shows. Me and my boyfriend have been dating over a year and are obviously pretty liberal and agree on loads of social and political opinions. But right before my BF moved in with me a month ago, I finally started watching Game of Thrones for the first time. It's been a very fun show to watch, as always loved fantasy things. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned one of the actors and how much I love the show, and he got super angry saying that the show showcases very horrible topics and can't stand anything in that universe or the author. I very much understand that those are extremely distressing topics, so I'd never ask him to watch it or even talk about it, but every time I pops up on like the Watch Later tab, he gets upset and annoyed that I would watch something like that. Which I suppose is fair, but I always viewed those topics in the show as something that is showcased as the horrible parts of medieval history, but never endorses it. Yesterday, I started watching A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms on my phone, and he saw and got very angry that I would watch anything related to Game of Thrones. I guess my question is, am I being insensitive to him by continuing to watch something that bothers him so much, or is it normal to just like and hate different things? TLDR, my BF hates all things Age of Thrones and wants me to stop watching all related things even in my alone time, submitted by /u/Mrs. Frampt. Link. Comments. Now let's see what Reddit had to say about this. Comment 1, NTA. You paid for your seat. You don't owe anyone anything. Comment 2, YTA. A little kindness goes a long way. That's it for today's story. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more. Story number 2. This Reddit story is absolutely wild. You won't believe what happens. AITA My wife and I came home at 3 a.m. and my MIL acted like we were 16 sneaking into house. My 41M, spouse, 42F, and I had plans to go hiking and have dinner with friends. We made our kids, 16M and 12F, sandwiches for lunch and called my spouse's mom and asked to bring the kids dinner because we would be gone into the evening. We also told the kids we would be out late. We have left our kids at home alone multiple times, and we fully trust them. We just wanted to make sure they had something decent instead of warming something up, hence asking MIL to bring food. Not once did we ask her to stay, nor did we expect her to. We have told her many times, you can stay and watch TV, due to her not having internet, if she wants, but she never has to stay. My spouse and I have an amazing day with great friends, and after dinner, they wanted to go back to their place to hang out more. Next thing we know, it's super late, and we get a call from MIL asking where are we. We were just about to head home anyway, and said we would be home soon. Flash forward to arriving home, and my MIL is sitting in the living room of my house fuming. No TV on or anything. I'd love to say she was sitting in the dark, but she wasn't that dramatic. She starts getting angry at us, commenting what time it is and how our 16-year-old shouldn't be up that late. Asterisk side note, we don't let him stay up that late all the time, but trying to manage a 16-year-old is hard enough as it is. 12-year-old had already called it a night and was asleep. Now I'm a little upset because I don't like being accosted in my own home and being treated like a child sneaking in. I proceed to tell her she did not have to stay. She was only supposed to grab dinner. She then tells us how disrespectful it is for not telling her where we were and why we were coming home so late. Now, if she had said this in a caring tone, or even worried, this would not be a problem. This came off in a very angry tone. Even when leaving, she slammed the front door. Now today, she is saying it wasn't about when we came home, but rather she was where now. Let's see what Reddit had to say about this. Comment 1, NTA. You paid for your seat. You don't owe anyone anything. Comment 2, YTA. A little kindness goes a long way. That's it for today's story. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more. Story number 3. What would you do in this situation? Let's dive into today's story from Reddit. TIFU, by not realizing I've been positioning my stuffed animal wrong for 23 years. I've had a stuffed animal collection since I was born. One of the oldest additions was a black animal that for the longest time I didn't know what it was supposed to be. It sits on my top shelf with all my other plushies. This stuffed animal had a peanut-shaped body with a slightly flat head, stubby black legs, long red ears that I briefly thought were extra arms, Sonic-like eyes with the mouth right beneath them, a red dot on its forehead, a press me button on its belly that sang a song if you pressed it, and what perplexed me the most for my whole life, a little red stub in its crotch area that I thought was its wiener. I always sat it up on its hind legs, so it looks like all my other stuffed animals facing forward. Yet I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was supposed to be until last night. I was FaceTiming a friend, and I picked up the little black stuffy to show him. And while doing so, I was going over it again when I suddenly realized I was positioning it wrong this whole time. I laid the stuffed animal flat and looked at it correctly for the first time in 23 years. The belly side with the press me button was actually its backside, and the wiener was its tail. The mouth below the eyes was just some eyelids, and the red dot on its forehead was its nose. It was a dog this whole time. I finally learned after going my whole life not know what this animal actually is, and I feel so dumb for not realizing it sooner. My friend and I laughed about it for a good second, and my parents teased me a bit for not realizing what they already knew. My dumbass went 23 years thinking I had some weird furry bug/alien creature as a stuffed animal, only to realize now that it was just a dog. TLDR, black stuffed animal with wiener was just an innocent pup this whole time. It's so innocuous. But I had to get it off my chest cause I feel like a happy little idiot for only knowing this just now. Happy Lunar New Year, reader. Hope you have a great day. Edit now, let's see what Reddit had to say about this. Comment 1, NTA. You paid for your seat. You don't owe anyone anything. Comment 2, YTA. A little kindness goes a long way. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.